All right, I think it's good.
And he thinks, good morning, everyone. This is on Vegas's phone, but this is typical. And you see Vegas,
What's
it's
up,
his
guys?
phone.
Yep.
We're just going to sit here and we're going to talk about, we always talk about the trail and what it's done soon afterwards, but what has it meant to us a year later? Really,
Yep.
what has it meant?
Like Big Willie's video. If you haven't seen that, check out his 1 year later reflections video. It made me
Is
cry.
that the one where I'm on, me, he talks about
Me,
me and
me and
you?
you. Yeah. We were like
Yeah,
his number one and number
yeah.
two.
Especially look at we got a lot of love.
We did. I sent it to my dad, and it made my dad cry, and that means it's a
Oh,
really
it
big deal.
did.
Yeah,
He did.
yeah, and he doesn't even he doesn't care about the trail. So
And
like,
that was your dad on the video that I just listened to.
oh no, no,
Who was
no, that
that?
was just some guy. No, no, my dad doesn't talk like that.
Oh,
Anyway,
anyway. So, I guess, what has the trail done to you? Let me say, I'll start off with
yeah,
me. You know, and I hate to say this. Hopefully, a lot of the guys, when I was at the people that I work with, you know, you think you have a good, I have a good relationship with them. But the people that I have post trail that I hiked with on the trail, it's like a stronger relationship.
yeah.
So much stronger, and I can just talk to them, and it's like when we see each other, it's like we never. I mean,
Oh yeah, you see, I mean, I just came back from Montana, and I ran into Pigpen and Typical, and like, it doesn't matter how long it's been since y'all have seen each other. Right away, it's just like, oh, what's up, and you're hugging each other, and it's just like old times. It's
yes.
like no time has passed.
So even a year, even though over a year has passed since we finished, the people that I met on trail, I have stronger relationships with them than the
Oh yeah,
people that what he calls the Muggle world.
yeah, that's
The
catching on, and I
Muggle
love it.
world. That's what he calls it. The people that are in the
Well,
regular world.
it's like you're saying like if you have a I don't know, like you have an old group chat with your like the job you worked before the trail. Like what is that? Like y'all just talking about like I don't know, work and stuff, but like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
but then you talk about like trail stuff and like I don't know, trail
It,
stories still to this day can just make me belly laugh.
Yeah, your job throws you together because that's what you work. Your job puts you together. This basically, the trail is a bunch of people that hike together, and right there you have something huge in common. If you're going to hike the whole trail, there's something wrong with you,
There's something wrong
or
with us in the
right,
best way.
or
Yeah,
right, yeah,
yeah.
or right with you. But it takes a special person to hike it to basically feel like crap a lot of times, but keep going.
Yeah. You wake up sore and tired and hungry and you wake up and like for a split second you're like but
Yeah.
then you're just like let's go and every day is such a brand new adventure.
Yeah,
Like every day was something different on trail.
it was. Yeah,
Every day.
it was the same, but it was different.
Yeah.
And I
That's what
never.
made it so good.
And it's funny when you get off. It's when you're on, you're well, except for him. He probably wishes he could live on trail.
What?
If he had the money,
Yeah.
he would live on trail.
Yeah. I'm working all winter to save up for PCT next year. Get ready. I'm excited.
And what days did you put in for
I
that?
don't. Well, we don't know yet. We find out October 30th. But I'll
Okay.
be starting the PCT with a good crew this March, April, somewhere around there. I don't, I'm not a big enough YouTuber to make like an announcement video. I think that
Well,
I'm
you.
not gonna do that. So
Well, that's how.
consider this my announcement
Yeah. Well,
video.
that's how you get to be big.
Yeah.
Most
I
people
don't know.
start out like me.
I
I
just
didn't do anything. I'm not big, anyways.
no. He is big. He's like 6'6". Like
I'm tall.
yeah. But no,
Yeah.
I'm not. But like the thing that I noticed right away as I got off trail, and still to this day, like even little silly things like when I finished the AT, and after that I was like less of an aggressive driver.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
just chill out about
You just
everything. Like
mellowed out.
everything is just like you're not in a rush. You're not nothing's as big a deal. It's like this is gonna sound like a little. I shouldn't say this on video. Never mind. But
Well,
it's like
yeah, don't say that.
you know what I'm about to say. It's like
Yeah,
that thing happens.
yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Don't
Like
say
that
it.
thing happens, and then you're just like, oh, I needed
You
that. Like I'm
mellowed
just
it.
chilled out
Yeah,
now.
mellowed
Yeah,
out.
it's just like a yeah,
Well,
like
he
every
he just worked. He's like always around the trail. It seems like of some sort.
Well, I mean, I hike and then I work seasonally between my
So yeah,
hikes,
he just got back working just north outside of
just
Yellowstone.
outside of Yellowstone,
So yeah, he's
Silvergate, Montana, with Double D. Shout out to Double D.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like always around it, and I think it's because that's where he feel. You feel at home then.
Well, yeah,
That's
I
where
mean,
you
for,
feel
for,
alive.
for anyone who listened to my episode of Mighty Blue, another shout out.
Mighty Blue.
Mighty Blue on the Appalachian Trail, that's a good podcast. But, like, yeah, like to be so miserable in the muggle world and you're like, oh, this sucks. And then you go out there and you hike. And, like, I don't even think I'm the only guy that was like this, but, like, you just find your people. You find your community out there. And it's just the best feeling ever. Because it is. It's life.
You find your peace.
Like, not that, for the record, like, not that hiking is anywhere near as important as the military or the police or anything like that.
Both.
Yeah, that's true. But, like, and so, okay, so you could be in a good position to, like, agree with this then, I think. The post-trail community and, like, hiker, like, fraternity or community, it's like a VFW or, like, a police fraternal order. Like, once you, like, so many people that, like, so I made a list of like shuttle drivers, hostel owners. Even if I just talked to them like once, when I summited, I sent my summit photo to like everybody who helped me like that. And so many people that like I hadn't spoken to since like Virginia. Like I text them to schedule a ride. We text back and forth, and then like I hadn't talked to them for months. Like I would send them my summit photo and be like, "Hey, this is Vegas. I summited. Thanks for the help." So many of them that I hadn't talked to in months like instantly responded and said like, "Welcome to the club. You're in the area. You got a couch to crash on. You need a seasonal job for a month or two. You got a job." Like it is such a lifetime support community. Like once you're in, you're in. It's like the mafia.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
but I mean that in a good
are
way.
you made? We're made now.
Is that a no, what does that mean?
Mafia means when.
I don't want to get a hit put on me.
If you're Italian, when you're a made person, that means like you're like you're in, and you're untouchable.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
Okay, yeah.
You remember
Well,
like
like,
when
no, I don't.
Joe Pesci went to be made in Goodfellas, and then they all
think you
did.
want to come make me?
So everybody knows what a made person. That's watched those. A made person means you've hit the big time. And,
But
you
yeah,
have to
like-
be fully Italian. To get
Well,
to be
I'm
made.
not Italian.
Oh well, I'm saying, but that's what we're
I
saying.
am a hiker.
But you don't have to be anything to be made in the just
You just
hike
gotta
the
do it.
trail.
You just gotta do it.
You gotta
Yeah.
hike the
And
trail.
even if you don't finish, like I mean, just being a part of that community. Like there are some people. Big Billy Dog. Excuse me. Like he hikes and then he did it and he's like, all right, I'm done hiking. Now I just want to be a part of the community, and that's totally okay. But then there are other people that hike and then they catch the bug and they hike all over the place. But either way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like it's two different types.
Then
But either
there's-
way, that's still the community. Like
Then
there's still the brotherhood.
Then there's the rest of us. He always wants to get us out there, but we have wives and we have families. Now I would love to be out there way more, way
Trying to work
more.
my Pied Piper magic.
Because there's nothing. You don't hear any news. It's like you're just in a bubble out there. You don't hear
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when the forest fires last year hit, and I was looking around like, well, what's going on around?
Yeah, I didn't hear about it until I saw the smoke.
Yeah,
And you're
nobody knew. Like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
it was like Connecticut, New York, and you're just like
Yeah, nothing.
Oh.
No politics.
nothing.
No news.
You are
nothing.
so out of touch with all of it, and
Yeah.
that's the Muggle world.
It's
You
the
are out of
simplest
touch with
life.
the
I
Muggle.
tell people, it's the simplest life, but it's hard.
The
It
happy,
is
it was
hard.
it was the happiest I've ever been is when I'm there out in the depths of a through hike,
Yeah.
and I had nothing but my backpack.
Yeah.
Like you had no stuff. Everybody has all this stuff. And,
With him, I think he found his calling,
yep.
and that's his happy place.
The lifestyle, the people, okay, I'll tell this is a good story. So and with all the storms, it's terrible because like that whole stretch of the trail will never be the same. Like that's
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
well, I have to see it, but go ahead.
Yeah, but so Mountain Harbor, I think that's in Tennessee. It's Station 19 in Mountain Harbor. That's Tennessee. It's like right along the border.
Yes,
of North
because
Carolina, but
remember,
it is Tennessee.
we just passed that sign that says you're leaving
Yeah,
North Carolina
yeah.
for the
So
last time.
it's
Thank
in-
goodness.
Oh, it's in Tennessee, and I remember I was talking to it was like Trail Mix and somebody else, and you have that big like 46,000 calorie breakfast. and,
I didn't eat there.
And you're hiking north, and they say turn around and look at the view like Sobo, like even though you're hiking Novo, turn around because that's where the good view is. And I can remember we had just left Mountain Harbor. I was in a really good bubble, and I'm hiking out, and I turn around and look at the view, and it was a nice day, and it was Laurel Creek Falls was coming up, which is
Okay.
one of my favorite spots
Yeah,
on
that's a pretty.
in that southern
Yeah,
section.
that's a pretty place.
But
Because you have to walk off a little bit just to get to
yeah,
the
but like,
falls.
and then the trail goes around the rocks. But something about like, it was like the bubble I was with, the people, and just the atmosphere, and all of us are on this big adventure. This was such a cool story. Like, it kind of hit me, and like this is awesome. I feel like I've dreamed this before. Like, this is what I've been searching for my whole life. And I let out this just like war cry, like,
Who was you by yourself?
no,
or
it
with
was
somebody?
like Spring Break, Rafiki,
Okay.
Apple, Dr. Jones was around. I'm like name dropping.
Dr. J, huh?
Dr. J. But
Without the
I mean,
skills.
it was a good bubble. But like, so I feel like this, like I had like this little like, and I was like, I got misty eyed, and I was like crying. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But and like, so I kind of had a moment. It hit me. Okay, I composed myself. I hike onward, and as I turn a corner, I see a couple other hikers that are sitting there wiping their eyes too. It's like it all hit all of us at the same time, and like it's moments like that on trail, the camaraderie, the scenery, the adventure, where I had, and I'm sure this wasn't just me, but I think I just held on to it so much, was like, this is what I've been after. This is like the life I've been, whatever that was missing in my muggle life, growing up and being such a miserable kid and miserable young adult, whatever was missing, this is it. I found it. And it's not even something you can describe. It was just a je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean? But this is it. This is what I've been looking for.
Yeah.
And if the initial question here is, how has the trail affected you over
Even
a year later?
later, yeah.
To know, it's almost like, again, I shouldn't say this on video, but like,
You already said that.
well, it's like a drug. Like if you do a drug and you're like, whoa, I didn't know I could feel that good. That's what the trail was. Like, I didn't know I could feel that happy, or I could feel that much of a sense of belonging or home. I didn't
Yeah.
know that was, I would see other people like content with their lives. And for the record, content with your life in the Muggle world, that's fine. If that's what works for you, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But like, I didn't know I could feel that. And then to find it and to have your people like that and to realize there is a place out there where I belong.
Yeah.
That feeling has never left me. And because I know that feeling is out there when I'm out hiking and doing my thing, it makes day-to-day life so much easier, because you know that like even like not every day is a great day. Not every day is, you're gonna have bad days. We're human. We have bad days. But even when I have bad days, I still know I'm where I belong.
Yeah.
I still know I'm living the life
You're
I need to
content.
live. Yep.
Somebody asked me, I was texting somebody, and I said, "You're content." And I said, "What is it?" And they said, what does that mean?" I said, "Even when the trail is the hardest and you are feeling miserable,
And there were days that
yeah,
happened.
you're feeling miserable,
Like,
you're content. You're
Yep.
like, this is the place I'm at, that
Yep.
I need to be. It's hard, but you're content. And
Well-
even for me, over a year later, it's almost like there's something missing all the time. And I think, and I bet you there's something still missing with. There will never he's going out another 3 hike. It'll never be like the first time. There's nothing
I agree
like
with
the
that.
first
Yeah,
time.
I agree with that.
Nothing like the first time, because that's where you grew into who you were.
Yeah,
was the first
and
time.
you find a piece of yourself on top of Katahdin when you summit.
Oh,
Like, that was just so. But and yeah, even though I will be doing other hikes, and like there's all different types of trails, all different types of beauty. I think your first big one, like there is, and for you too, like even no matter else where you hike,
yeah.
we always will leave. There will always be a part of our hearts in the Appalachian
That's
Mountains
right.
forever.
And when you're on
Yeah.
there,
Uh-huh.
nothing
No,
will be
yeah.
like that.
Anytime I ever set foot back on the AT, no matter where I'm at, like since my through hike, I've been back a few times,
Yeah.
as everybody knows. But anytime you set back on there, it's like walking into the house you grew up in and recognizing that smell or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, I'm home. Like,
Yeah.
or I'm in a place that I once called home, and that still feels like home to you.
This is where I found,
Yeah.
this is where I grew up or whatever. This is where I became me.
So like my grandma.
Especially for you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you just talk like, it's almost like you don't even talk about his prior life.
There was no I might as well have been born.
When he
I
was
consider-
31, how old were you when you did
I
it?
was. How old was I? Well, when I had my legendary story in Las Vegas that gave me my trail name, I was 30.
but
So I was 31, 32 on trail. No, I'm 32 now.
so you was 31
So
last year.
I turned 32 a couple months after I summited. Yeah.
Okay, so you was 31.
Yeah.
So
I'm old.
well, anyway, so back to well, I'll say the people like him, he can come and stay at my house anytime. I said the best thing, the
Put me
best
up. He's
thing
a great
about the
guy.
trail that long term, these people will always be in my life, and they can always come and stop over. It doesn't bother me.
Yep.
But that's the thing where the people that you used to work with, it's not the same.
There's not
It's just
nearly
not
as
the
much of
same.
a connection in there.
Yeah,
Like
there's
you
not a
can, yeah,
connection as
you can
much.
work the same job and like, yeah, you're all working towards the same goal. But when you're living and breathing and like literal blood, sweat, and tears towards
Yes.
that same goal, there's something about that that just bonds you like
Yeah.
and nothing else I've ever seen.
So what I will encourage anybody that does this, even if it's something small, get out there and push yourself to your limits, no matter what it is. You may not be able to do the through hike. Don't A lot of people can't, but do something that gets you out and does something to open yourself up to new adventures.
Because
'Cause-
even aside from I mean, like you can talk about like the more mundane things, like yeah, it's proven that just going out for like even a mile or two hike in nature, it's good for you. Like it's so
Yes.
good for you. But even aside from that, like, and then even the other stuff, like runners high, hikers high, like Typical's one of the most clean cut guys I've ever met in my life. But you can even attest when you get into the group while hiking, it's like a high. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
you
yeah.
feel that. You're like, ooh, like, and I'm not nearly as clean cut as Typical, but like there's a hiker high, and it's like one of probably the best high I've ever been on. Like that dopamine rush when you're on your way up Katahdin, there was nothing in the world. I was going up Katahdin, and your hand over fist, rock climbing, and I can remember, we thank goodness we had a beautiful summit day, and I can remember just like epically turning and looking at the view, and the
When you
wind is
came
blowing
out,
my
yeah,
hair
when you came out from the tree
behind me.
line.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, that first when you come out above the tree
Yeah.
line, you look back and like,
And I
is
can
that
remember
the most beautiful view
I
you've probably
said
on the trail?
I was like alone on Katahdin, and I said,
You were?
well, no, I mean like nobody was
Oh,
around me. I wasn't
okay.
talking to anybody. No, I was summiting with the Jackass 5 and Double D, but like nobody was around me. But I just was looking at the view, and I said out loud, like to nobody in particular, like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. I just kind of yelled it into the wind, like I put it out there into the ether, because it hit me like this is so freaking cool, and like it was like something out of a movie. Like you're just climbing towards that. If anybody out there is watching this and thinking about doing it,
Yeah.
it will change your life.
And I hate to say, the summit on Katahdin, that was
I can't
the
stop
best.
smiling.
That was the best.
It was.
So if you're going to do the trail, summit Katahdin if you can
If you can
as
do
your
a no-go.
as your ending thing, because once you have a good day on Katahdin, that's the best view
It's-
on the whole
It's
trail.
unlike anything else.
It's
man.
unlike anything. It's so beautiful.
You can
up there.
feel. I mean, like knowing that mountain was sacred to the like indigenous people of Maine. You can feel it up there. You can feel
It is.
the sacredness and the magic in the air.
And it's like a buildup too, because Maine is like there's nobody around.
No,
when you're up
Maine is
there.
like-
it's like there's nobody up there.
It was, I was thinking about that. Like, everybody warns you about the whites in New Hampshire. And it's, as they should. Like, that's, but like, I feel like you cross the border into Maine. It's like, no.
Yeah,
Okay, so like,
it was rough.
New Hampshire and the whites was like loud and chaotic, and the
Yes,
whites.
yes, a lot of people
But
around.
then, like, you cross into Maine, and it's like it goes dead silent in your head, and like, this is it. Like, this is the final, like, and Maine was just, southern Maine was like just as hard as the whites. But it's
I
a
said it
different-
was harder.
But it's a different kind of like if you go back and look at Big Willie's YouTube channel, like normally I was all goofy on there, but I
Yeah.
gave this serious like epic speech about entering Maine, because like you cross that state line,
And then you see that chasm, you gotta like,
but there's no more state lines to cross. Like this is it. I'm in Maine, and Katahdin's waiting for me, and it's yeah. But and then like you go through Maine, you travel those old forests, and then you know that Katahdin was such a sacred place, and then you go up and like ooh, it was tough too. Katahdin was one of the tougher climbs on the whole trail.
I would say to me, it wasn't tough to me, and I think because I was able to I was throwing down some food the day before and that morning.
You were doing what?
Throwing down a lot of food.
Oh, like eating a
so
lot
I
of
was
food.
basically
Oh, yeah.
at not at a calorie deficit that time, and so my body, it was like once you're going up with the group, I didn't even notice anything.
No. Well,
It
and
wasn't
also,
tough at all
well,
to
but
me. I mean,
I mean, it was tough as in the sense like the whites were tough. But you're right. Eat a good meal the day before,
yeah,
and I also
I
do
didn't
think
feel
like
nothing.
you're riding such an adrenaline
Yeah.
high that yeah,
You're
like
taking
yeah,
pictures
you're
with your
just
big
like
people. You're doing video because you know this is the last thing.
yeah. But
But
also you like, I almost knew going up Katahdin like. I can remember like at the beginning like it started to hit me that adrenaline and you know rush
yeah,
because like I realized like well unless I like somehow injure myself going up Katahdin which could have happened but like unless that happens
Big Willie,
I get
carry
it. This
me.
is like
I'll be
yeah
your legs.
oh,
Be my legs, Big Willie.
oh, can you imagine he's just like Vegas get on my back that would have been terrible oh knock on wood
So,
gosh
so what does that all mean? See, this is the year later, the
over a
emotions.
year later
Over a year later, the emotions, the people we met, it never gets weaker. It's always
nope
I think it gets stronger because we'll have
yeah.
those stories to keep talking about.
It
Cause
really does get stronger because
yeah,
you meet people like you meet hikers like when I saw Pigpen yesterday or when we do our reunion hikes and
yeah,
run into you,
Pigpen.
it's almost like it gets stronger
Hello,
because like
Pigpen.
I know hi Pigpen, it's almost like it gets stronger because like one of the first things we'll all talk about is like how much we all miss it and how much
Yeah,
we all feel like we're not home and that
yeah.
brings you together even stronger. Which it's funny because like when you
I don't
leave,
talk about work that way.
no, who does? Yeah, like, but no, yeah, it's as far as externally and then internally, like externally, socially, like yeah, the like and I know you hear this all the time, but the bonds you make with your fellow hikers is unlike any other community
No,
I've ever experienced,
yeah.
and it is a lifelong thing.
And it's like when you meet somebody that's like they'll say class of 12.
Class of 23 right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
class of, it's like you have an instant
Oh
connection
yeah,
with
and
them.
you're just like, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
it's like you get a big smile on your
Yeah,
face. You
uh-huh.
start saying,
Like I finally got to meet Double D introduced me to his buddy Vista, who's class of 21. Like I'd never met this guy, but instantly we're hugging each other like, "What's up, bro?" Like, but so that's externally, like the community, and then internally, yeah, like you just
it's good and it's bad because it's almost like there's still something missing.
yeah, you leave
And
something behind
yeah,
on that
and
trail.
he's like him. Like you can still say what you want. You keep going out doing something, but there will always be something missing
Yeah,
because there's nothing. There's
you're
nothing
always
like
yeah.
it.
It's like you're always chasing your first high,
Yeah,
almost.
you're
Yeah,
always chasing that,
yep.
and you'll never find that into that rainbow again.
But there are times I've been on trail since then
Oh yeah,
where like you're hiking and all of a sudden you just kind of smile because you're like I'm in my
yeah.
element. This
I
is
will
what I
say
should be
when we
doing.
was out at Glacier and all five
Yeah,
of us were there,
that was
that
awesome.
was a good time. It's like this is it.
This is how it should be. Yeah, yeah. But that moment, like yeah, like you'll always leave a piece of yourself behind on that first big hike. But what you discover in yourself, like there's the external social community, and then internally, like I mean, some of the things like like there was a realization I had like if I can do that, I can do anything I want. But then you have to think, well, what do I even want to do? And like if you want to do something, you know damn well you can go do it.
Yeah.
And then also like I mean, and people always joke about it for me because of the yes and no tattoos on my palms and like finding your place
Let me
and
see. Oh my goodness.
you've seen that before.
I don't think so.
What?
I never
I
noticed.
tattooed yes and no on my palms because I was like, I'm not gonna talk to anybody. But then like how long I used them on like my first day and then I just ended up so happy on trail that like I was voted prom king 23 at trail days. Like it just changes you. It just
Big
you
Willie was prom queen.
Dumpling is
No,
not gonna like
no, he
that.
wasn't.
Big Willie was like prom daddy. But
Oh,
it,
we miss you, Big
we
Willie.
know, yeah, we do.
And we don't know why you didn't call
We
us
called
back
him yesterday and he bitch buttoned us. You can bleep that out on your channel. He did. We were so excited. We called him like, oh, Big Willie. And like it's like, burp, you've reached the voicemail of, and we're like, oh, come on, man.
Man, we got
But
hosed.
it changes you on the inside.
Yeah.
It you shed your old skin and you become an entirely new person. And you know what else? I want to say this too. And it like for people who do it, like one thing I wasn't ready for, and like if someone was gonna ask me the weirdest piece of advice I could give, like what's a hot take piece of advice? What's like a piece of advice that might seem weird, but it's something that strangely is true? At least for me. Like when you finish that hike and you go back, if you go back to where you used to be, like your old stomping grounds,
Yeah.
you will be a different person. You will have leveled up. And be prepared to lose friends and to lose connections and to lose old relationships you have.
Yeah.
I speak from experience when I say that. You will, there will be people in your life that you used to be close to that you just can't relate to them. There's nothing left in common there anymore.
Yeah.
And there will come a time when you realize you've kind of just outgrown it. And it's okay to just move on and leave it behind and close that chapter.
Yeah.
Because you will be a different person when you come back.
You'll be different. And
Yeah.
some people, they may be able to, they may jump back
Yes,
into that.
some people may love it, and and even though you come back and you're different, they're still able to like maintain a relationship with
I'll
you.
tell
But
him,
not
like I
everyone.
told him, who knows if they'll watch this, but
What?
I told you, but like there's group chats from your previous life.
Oh, yeah,
that
your
you haven't-
Muggle life,
And and then you listen to, you watch what the texts are, and you're like, you're just not into that anymore. You're not
Yeah.
into that world. Well, you just like to be back into the world where we don't talk a lot of. We don't talk
The Muggle
news.
stuff,
We don't
yeah,
talk
just news, politics,
We
work.
talk where have you been? What's your next
Yeah,
adventure?
yeah.
Where are you going to go or whatever?
I
That's what
think-
you talk about. You talk about people that are wanting to do things, not people that are reacting to what other people have done.
Yeah.
You know, what they do or something.
And I guess that ties into what some people call post-trail depression. You come back and you're just bored and depressed because you're like, this doesn't excite me anymore.
because
This
you're not
doesn't
around
interest me
any of
anymore.
the people
Yeah.
that basically or that did that with your. Most of the people. We are a different breed.
Yeah.
We went out and did something.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
We went out and did something. It takes everything of you to do.
Yeah. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, it was the hardest thing
And
for
that's-
me, and I'm old.
What? That's how you can.
Not
Still,
that
that
old.
that's how you can tell we loved it so much. It's because like we're a year and a half out, and that's still all we talk about.
yeah.
Like that's all we
It's
talk
funny.
about.
I feel I was the oldest person in our group.
Sergeant Pepper's older than you.
No, but he
I don't
was
wanna age him.
at the end of the group.
Oh, you're excluding Sergeant Pepper.
No,
When
but
he,
he-
yeah, at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I Summit, I was by far the oldest. I
Oh
was
yeah.
older than
Oh, your Summit
Globetrotter.
crew. Yeah.
Yeah, my Summit
Yeah.
crew, and I think you was probably the youngest in
Yeah.
that group.
Yeah, I was. Even though I'm like old.
Yeah. So it just depends on what kind. You could have been in another group where you'd have been the oldest.
Yep, I was for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
The goof
No,
squad
no,
that
no,
I was with,
but
the
you-
first like 1,000 miles, I was the oldest.
But
one.
you don't look at. You see, I don't look at like Pig
No.
Ben's the youngest. I don't look at her as young as this. I just look
Age
at
is
her
just a number.
as somebody that struggled like I did,
Yep,
and we both made it.
yep. At the end of the day, we're all hikers out there. We're all out for the same goal.
Yeah, and that's the way you look at it. You don't look at it like in the Muggle world out
Yeah.
at the different people. You look at people that you're doing this. You're struggling just like me, and know what we're getting it done together. So that's all you look at.
Brothers and sisters,
Yeah,
man.
how you gonna get there? Nothing. There's nothing. I didn't have time for any of that other weird stuff on the trail. It was like, who. Well, it could have been any kind of weird stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's some weirdos out there.
Yeah, not us though. We had a solid crew.
Yeah, we had.
Like, our class of 23 was pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
we had a good crew, and I think we was in front. If you basically stayed up in front,
Yeah,
of
we
all
we
the-
were the pretty early bubble.
yeah, those are the other ones behind you. They can get into more of the,
Party
drama
atmosphere.
stuff. Yeah, party. I didn't have time for that. I had a
Well,
goal, and I'm older. When you're
yeah.
older, you have a goal. You can't have time. You don't. I can't sit there and take days off and do party
I'd
and
take
stuff
it-
because it's
yeah.
going to tear my body
When
up.
I
When
took
you're in
it-
your 20s, you could do that.
When I took a zero, I didn't want to party. I wanted to lay there and
yeah.
eat junk food. And like,
and watch
watch
what's
stuff on my
Judge
phone.
Judy.
oh, Big Willie.
I already
Never-
loved the Judge Judy.
That was he and I were so dog tired. We legit that 00 consisted of nothing but like 2 grocery store runs,
well, tell
eating, farting, sleeping, pooping, and watching
yeah,
Judge Judy.
and that was at the gap just before we had hit the presidential area. Wasn't that? That
Yes,
was when we
yeah,
got the
yeah,
rain.
yeah.
So I was in the middle of that bubble. There was
Big Willie and I were in the back. Pigpen and GT were up front.
Yeah,
And then there's this
Globetrotter.
typical by
And
himself.
I was by
yeah.
myself. And so he was texting me trying to recruit me to come back.
Come back and
I was
watch
like,
your
I'm not
cutie,
coming
yes.
back. Like, you never go back. Always go forward. Well, I will
yeah.
say, that's another time I met him. He was going backwards when we was in
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
that was funny. So
I'm
no,
like-
let me tell this story. So I made it. It was Double D and I were cowboy camping at this blue. We were we
Oh, that you was with him at
yeah,
that
yeah,
time?
yeah.
Okay.
But we had found this campsite and one of my old bosses from one of my Muggle jobs lived nearby, and he was like, "Hey, I'll pick you up and take you into town for a resupply." And so like I hike the road crossing where he was gonna pick me up. I was camping like it was like a mile and a half north. So I like walk up, set my stuff down, and then I come back and I'm walking south to this road crossing, and I had left my backpack and stuff
Yeah.
there with Double D.
Going south was nice at that point, but you
Because
had to go
I'm
back.
walking just, I had like my tank top and shorts
Yeah,
on.
and
And,
I
I'm
saw-
walking down, and Typical's walking up, and he's like, I think you're going the wrong way. I was like, I haven't seen you since Tennessee. Like, what are you doing up here? And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm getting picked up to go into town. And then when I came back, it was like dark, and you saw like my red light just kind of bopping along. And that was Scribe, Sea Level, you, and Big Willie were all in that shelter.
No, I wasn't there.
Where were you?
I was like a mile. I was further up because I was waiting for Big Willie to come, but he stopped at the
He did
shelter
stop
and
at the
never left.
shelter. Yeah, because he had his stuff yard sold out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just so beat.
Yeah, sea
I
level.
think I have Lyme's disease. I'm so beat."
That's where I first met Sea Level and the guy.
That was
from
where
the
you
Mo-
first met Sea
Yeah,
Level.
that's where I
Okay.
first met her.
Scribe was there because I had met Scribe in
Big
Virginia.
Willie was there. I knew that's the best shelter on the whole AT.
It was.
The
It was
best
like
one. It's
it,
in
had, it was
Pennsylvania.
two different buildings that had hanging flowers and stuff. It
Yeah,
was
one
nice.
was for the quiet people, and the other one was for the
snorers,
snorers. And they had like hanging
And
plants.
Sea Level just said to hell with this, and she stood up her tent. Like she wasn't dealing with either of them.
And I remember it's like me and him was hiking around. We hiked around each other for a long time.
yeah,
and we
we were-
always saw each other.
We were zigzagging. When we all started sticking together was Vermont, like a
Yeah,
couple days
yeah.
before Killington.
Yeah, because it was right when we got the Wicked Way station, and I was talking to Big Will. I said, "You think we just?" I said, "I think we all just hang with these people."
Yep.
I want to know what happened to the early morning hike. I've been laying here listening to you all jaw for an
Hey,
hour.
we're making a video. We're making a video.
We have to keep this in
yeah,
video.
we got, but that's Rusty.
Everybody say hi to Rusty.
Hello, Rusty.
Hello.
Oh God.
I don't think she knew he was making a video.
Nope.
No.
All right. So now we have to give a recap then. In
Okay.
closing,
Yeah.
so if you're a lawyer and this is your closing argument, just kidding. Don't
Oh,
pretend
you
that.
can put that in there. I mean, in closing a year, what's it done for me at long term?
So wait. So I said my piece. Like the social community is the external, and then internally, it just like you shed your skin. You're a new person, and you level up. Like that's I don't know if you get that reference. That might be a my generation thing, but like leveling up in a video game, like you're just you evolve.
Wow.
You're a new person. So yeah. So now, okay. What about you?
Well, no, my wife's listening.
Oh.
No, but anyway, it give you have a different perspective on life, and that will never go away. And you will look at things totally different. You don't care much for drama. Drama becomes less. You try to avoid drama now.
Yeah, you just got no time
He's
for
like,
that.
I don't have
Like,
time.
yeah.
It's like that's why I don't watch any news.
Oh,
This
no.
news is
Oh,
too
no.
much drama. I do not watch any
Nope.
of that stuff. I don't, I watch Andy Griffith stuff. I'll tell you, I like to watch
Judge
stuff
Judy,
that
yeah.
make her easy going. I watch a lot of YouTube videos if I can, for people that are out there doing it.
Yep.
I don't have time for people that talk about things. I like to watch people. I don't care what it is. If you love it and you're doing it, then I like watching that. But the drama, yeah, you'll
Yeah,
see you don't have time
I,
for that.
I think we're saying almost the same thing in different generational views. Like
Yeah.
it just chills you out. You have no time for like you like when I was like, oh, you've leveled up. It's like you've leveled up past the drama.
Yeah.
Like you're a different person.
Yeah, I went on a cruise with my wife until the Alaska cruise. That was just beyond beautiful.
Oh, Alaska.
Yeah,
man.
that's another thing. You start appreciating beauty
Oh, yeah.
a lot more.
Mother Nature.
Yes.
But Alaska is
Yeah, and I only saw
Wild.
a tiny bit of it, so we're going to have to do another cruise up there.
We will.
But But we'd have to do one where we go into Denali.
That's where $1 Million did, right when he
Oh, he
left
did?
Valley of 10,000 Smokes. Shout out to $1 Million.
Oh, he did Denali?
He did Denali, yeah.
But why didn't he put out any videos?
Oh, I don't know. He's too busy for that. That man, that man juggles like 46 things at any given time.
So the thing about about video is you can always go back and look at it
Oh, yeah.
and relive it and go over the moments with you was with people. That's what it's about.
Yep.
It's
And the
about remember
photos.
that.
Like, I didn't journal. I just took like a couple photos every day, and Google would location stamp them for me, so I could see where I was, when that was, and like who I was with, and I would just do that. Now, for the rest of this year, we're gonna start a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or whatever to get Typical to come out. So after my after my unfortunate layover in an East Coast city and state that will remain unnamed because I don't want to be a butthead.
Well, that's
I
where
will
your
be-
family is. Isn't that where you grew up, though?
Yeah. But so anyway, so I will be finishing.
Maryland.
I will be finishing the Sheltoe Trace Trail the first week of November. That's in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then Globetrotter,
Kentucky's a
GT.
pretty state. Yeah.
GT and I are through hiking the Ozark Highlands Trail in
Is
Arkansas.
that what it's called?
Ozark Highlands Trail.
Okay.
Now there's also the Ozark Trail. That's different. The Ozark Highlands Trail. So on my leg here, I've tattooed every state I've been to. I have 7 states left to go before I hit all 50. Arkansas is one of them. So I'm gonna knock out Arkansas by through hiking the Ozark Highlands Trail with Globetrotter. And then after that, a good chunk of the PCT 25 crew, we're all meeting up. I think it's gonna be in Georgia. Stay tuned on that. And we're gonna do like a 80-mile hike or something, and then we're all having hiker Thanksgiving together. Now you'll be with your family. That's boring. But me, no, I'm just kidding. We love you,
The
Rusty.
food's good.
But me, I'll be with the family. And so stay tuned for the upcoming November Adventures of Vegas, the Pied Piper.
Yeah, and he needs to start making more videos, not better, more.
I
Start
Dude,
putting out more.
I make good videos of my hikes. I always send
Yeah,
them to you.
it's
You
a
probably
little
don't even
bit.
watch
We
them.
need longer videos.
Okay,
How about
yeah,
that?
I'll do that.
Long videos.
All
All right. Well, you got to get out of here.
I
It's
do,
9 o'clock.
About to hit the road.
Wow.
You can film. I'll put this on my channel, and then
Yeah.
you can film your happy music stuff and add that on and put that on your channel.
Well, the thing is, I do that with pictures.
yeah.
I'm not taking any pictures. Yeah, so I always put the music to the pictures at the end.
You'll get a selfie of us outside
And
my
so,
car.
you know, I do it also. I made it like good music, like Big Willie puts on there.
Big
you
Willie
know, he
puts,
puts
like,
that
depressing-
emotional,
Big
yeah,
Willie
that
puts,
emotional
like depressing
stuff.
music, and you guys are like Bert and Ernie. Like Typical's happy and Big Willie's sad.
Yeah.
So all right.
All right. Well.
So we'll put this on my channel, and Typical will have more to come.
Okay.
All right. We love you all.
Bye.